Well, hello viewers, and welcome back to the Nightmare Zone. I'm your host, as always, May. Here in the Nightmare Zone, sometimes we encounter the strange and delicious forces of outside. Outside is scary. Stay inside and don't go outside ever again. One time, when I was outside, I saw a vampire. I know. Here on the Nightmare Zone, we like to bring you programming that sends willies up your spine. And on such a spine-tingling evening as tonight, we honor the show Goosebumps.
You will beware. You're in for a scare.
Created by R.L. Stein. That's right, kiddies. Viewer beware, you're in for a scare. Now, if you don't know, R.L. Stein is kind of a strange man. We owe so much to R.L. Stein's brain, like an entire series of books that were then later adapted into a TV series. And not just any TV series, no, a dirty, weird TV series. A TV series that is strangely erotic, a TV series that tortured children for decades, which is sort of my thing, but many of them are memories that will never leave our heads, thank God. But while they may have left your memory, they have not left mine. Tonight we are going to be exploring the farthest reaches of the series Goosebumps from 1995. What do you think about that, Charlie? Goosebumps. It's a show based on a book series that we all read when we were all children. Do you remember being a child? I don't. Scholastic book fairs were cool because you could find out all about certain books that you couldn't get anywhere else, like Goosebumps books. And if you were a child reading Goosebumps, then you know that that was the coolest shit on the planet. Those books fucked you up. They were serious shit, Stacy. Do you remember the one where the cheese was the monster? It's like Stephen King for little babies, but so much gayer. Goosebumps is all kinds of weird. There's so many different stories that are so diverse in what they even try to do. There's body horror, there's fucking every kind of horror. It runs the gamut on what horror has to offer, and it does it for children, so children get to find out about cool horror things that they're gonna love when they get older. What I'm saying is you can't show a child David Cronenberg's The Fly, but you can show a child a Goosebumps episode where people turn into monsters. And that's fucking awful to see. It would fuck any child up, and I know that because it fucked me up. I remember reading these books when I was a kid and I was not ready, and that was just my imagination. Then it became adapted to a television show. Ah, the miracle of TV. And it came out on VHS tapes, which I still have my VHS tapes of Goosebumps. And there, you could see your worst nightmare from the page become puppet weird animatronic realistic nightmare monster crap that they did for the fucking TV show. It made everything so much worse. I used to be okay. Then I saw, I don't know, this image.
We won't hurt you, Brent. We promise.
R.L. Stein ruined our lives, but he also was a madman and a genius. And by genius, I mean he must have been incredibly lazy, because oh my god, these stories suck. They are so bad. They're so bad. Oh my god, they're so bad. Eccentric. I mean, they're eccentric. They're not bad, they're eccentric. They're different, like everybody said that I was when I was a kid. All gifted and talented kids are gay. We don't want her hanging out with the other children. We don't want her hanging out with the other children because, I don't know, I don't like it. Every parent at me when I was a kid. Imagine what you think I would look like, and there you go. I was a scene queen for a little while. Did you know that? Goosebumps did that to me. Genius or madman, R.L. Stein is a man. His brain gave us a lot of horrible, terrible things, and today we're gonna take a look at some of those. Oh god, I just realized there's no reason why I would do this.
Ain't no phones in Horrorland.
I decided to become kind of like Atlas, carrying the world, and take on the task, a Herculean effort, of watching the entirety of the Goosebumps TV show from 1995 and documenting my experience for all to see. It's that wholesome content that y'all asked for. See, mama listens. So I laid down with my cat and I watched the entirety of Goosebumps from start to finish. And today we're gonna talk about the show and some of its episodes. Oh my god. Episode 1, let's go!
What a great costume.
Yeah, pretty scary looking.
Thank you.
One day at Horrorland. Ain't no phones at Horrorland.
Ain't no phones in Horrorland.
There ain't no phones at Horrorland.
I thought they were nice monsters. You all did, Mom.
I thought they were good monsters. We all did, Mom. One day at Horrorland. Holy fucking shit, dude. Wow, you could not have picked a better episode to start on. One Day at Horrorland is like a masterpiece. It is a transforming narrative. It is the one that made me go, oh, R.L. Stein, genius. Madman genius.
Welcome to Horrorland.
Family is gonna go to the zoo, get stuck on a road where there's a horror theme park that appears, and then they go to the horror theme park, which goes about as you'd expect. Oops, no it doesn't. They try to leave, but then it's like no one leaves the theme park alive, and then they capture them and they put them on TV, on a monster TV network where other monsters watch, and they get torn apart by Ripper.
Behind one door is that fabulous sports utility vehicle. And behind the other door is Ripper, the killer beast.
No, I'm just kidding. They don't get torn apart by Ripper. They fall off a fucking mountain.
Whoa! Now that's what I call a cliffhanger.
This is for children. There's even a gay monster. There's a part where they come in and they're like, you're about to be on TV. We got to do your makeup. So somebody comes out and they're like, hello. Like they're like super gay monster.
All right, we have some lovely snacks here if you'd care to partake. There we are. Some Eye of Doyle, Ear of Holyfield.
What the fuck? I don't know who the fuck directs these things, but they're amazing. Like, show me the director of Goosebumps' other works. I believe this is a Canada production because everybody says a boot.
The Horrorland Horrors welcome you to Horrorland? What's a horror?
Everything that is in every Goosebumps episode kind of presents itself like really super lazy characterization. Like the stories are basically build-ups to punchlines and then there's like a twist and then it's over. Fairly of no content. Like there's not really a lot of themes. There's not a lot of things to like learn from these books. They're just sort of an exercise in children and their anxieties, I guess. As a kid watching Horrorland, you find out, oh, if I go to Disneyland, my family will die. Horrible thing to think about when you're a child, but thank you. It's effective horror for children. Also, the fucking monsters are amazing.
But reflect before you enter. No one may ever see you again.
There ain't no phones at Horrorland.
Ain't no phones in Horrorland.
I thought they were nice monsters.
We all did, Mom. We all did. This is like the crowning achievement. This is like the top level. Like, if I was going to rank Goosebumps episodes, I would be like, okay, well, the Criterion Collection edition from Goosebumps will definitely be One Day at Horrorland. The remainder of them are interesting, but this one is amazing.
I thought they were nice monsters. You all did wrong.
My best friend is invisible.
No! No!
So, this one's fucking weird. All of my nightmares come true at the same time. This boy finds an invisible person who's like a ghost that was living in a house. The invisible person starts like fucking up his life. You know, he goes to school and he like throws paper around. He's like, fuck you, teacher. He writes on the chalkboard. He like fucks up everything, and the kid's life starts to go to shit because the ghost like ruins his life and nobody believes him. However, you cannot have imagined the fucking Twilight Zone M. Night Shyamalan ass twist that comes at the end of this story. Bowtie science father. He has a bowtie science father who is studying invisible people, making them visible. And so he gets a big flashlight thing and he runs up to the monster who's invisible and sprays it, and it's a human little boy. It's a human little boy, and it's revealed that Earth has been colonized by aliens, and so the people have left, and this is like a human that turned invisible to hide from the monsters that have taken over Earth, and then the people turn around and they have eyes and mouths on the back of their heads on their hair, and it's so fucking awful. It's like Jimmy Screamer Claus did it. Shout out to my boy Jimmy. Hey boy Jimmy. Follow me on Twitter, bitch.
We did it to help you, Brent.
To save you from the others.
The next is actually probably the goodest episode. I don't think goodest is a word. I don't know. I get stupid after one little drink of Malibu. Holy fuck.
Bye-bye, scaredy cat. Bye-bye.
Goosebumps. 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 The Haunted Mask is unironically a queer masterpiece. In this essay, I will explain why Goosebumps, the Haunted Mask, is actually like a trans story. We stan.
It's like it's stuck to my skin.
Well, it's gonna sound pretty dumb if we have to call the fire department to come get you.
Shut up and help me!
No, but for fuck's sake, listen to me. Yeah, no, the Haunted Mask is seriously good. I have a feeling I'm definitely 100% going to accidentally say the Haunted Mansion when talking about this, because the Haunted Mansion and the Haunted Mask sound so similar, and I say them both equally. I'm always talking about the Haunted Mansion, y'all. Went once as a kid, never stop fucking talking about it.
Call in the spirits. Wherever they're at.
The Haunted Mask is a story about like a girl who is picked on a whole bunch, so she decides that she's gonna be scary on Halloween instead of a duck on Halloween. So she goes and steals a mask from a scary man who says that the masks are possessed by something. So she puts the mask on and becomes this snarling evil monster beast.
They're not my eyes, Sabrina. My eyes don't look like that.
Try to calm down, Cully Beth.
Who ravages through the town giving everybody shit, but then realizes that she has to go back to being herself, so she digs up her own face, correcting the problem, and then she can remove the mask. Now, I don't know about you, but that seems like a familiar story. I lived through that one, bitch.
It's all a bad dream, isn't it? It's all a bad dream. I'm going to wake up.
Unironically, this episode is actually pretty good. It slaps. Some would say that this episode slaps. Another good candidate for the Criterion Collection eventual Blu-ray release is gonna be the Goosebumps Blu-ray release, and I want the Haunted Mask. Oh my god, I want to see a Criterion cover of the Haunted Mask.
This is Carly Beth.
I'm pulling up my sleeve so you can see my cool tattoo. And also because the air conditioning's off, we're shooting a video and it's really hot in here, and I'm wearing this like sweater t-shirt. Speaking of really good episodes of Goosebumps, it's Night in Terror Tower. Night in Terror Tower is the longest, most meandering thing ever. It's actually, that's one of the things that I admire about the Goosebumps series, is the fact that the first half of the story usually doesn't look even remotely like the second half of the story. Like, the story is completely dynamic, like crazy shit just happens. That's sort of the big deal here. Crazy shit happens in these episodes.
If only we could find Mom and Dad.
Eddie, I can't even remember what they look like.
Neither can I. Sue? Where do we live? Do we live in a house? I can't picture it at all.
We haven't even gotten there yet. Night in Terror Tower. So like, they go to like a tower where tortures happened, and then they see a ghost of a man, and then they go back in time. They lose their memories, they become different people. They have to sacrifice themselves for something, and then somebody tries to sacrifice themselves to save them, and then they come back into regular time. It's like Donnie Darko, bitch. It's crazy. It's like a British nightmare. I don't even understand what the fuck is going on in this episode. So it's like this evolving thing where like the first half of it, they're just being chased by this goofy guy with a big hat. And then the second half of it, they like fucking go back in time and they meet people from back in time. And it's like this whole like psychedelic brain trip.
Your last name?
Eddie, what's our last name?
I don't know.
So get up there and get on Night in Terror Tower's level. Where's the A24 modern equivalent of Night in Terror Tower? There's a lot of shit that's going on creatively in this series that's like too dumb to be in like modern movies, but is so cool nonetheless.
Excuse me, I'm looking for my brother.
One thing that I firmly believe is that originality actually exists in incompetence. It exists in like when you fuck things up, you don't know what you're doing, you just like throw shit together. That's when accidental, like miraculous originality happens. So a lot of that comes through in something like Goosebumps. In a season of a TV show, 5 fucking things will happen and they make it last for 8 hours. But in Goosebumps, in literally like 45 minutes, they cover time travel and like ghosts, torture, and monsters. Like, they get all out there. They don't fuck around. Goosebumps gets shit done.
Why are you chasing us?
You know why. Now, you come with me.
Which I think just goes to show that it's not about the amount of something, it's about its economy, like the way it uses its screen time. There's not an awful lot of dialogue scenes in Goosebumps. Like, things are just moving. There are a lot of action scenes.
We'll keep watch.
No, you'll come with us.
I can't, Jerry. I'm scared.
Here, just use it as a lever.
The next episode is Ghost Beach. Ghost Bench. Ghost Bench.
Here, to look for something.
To look for what?
Your gravestones.
That ghost is clever, making you think we're the ghosts.
So Ghost Beach is a baffling, strange experience. Basically, the story revolves around these kids who go to their grandparents. They meet some kids in a cemetery, which is definitely not suspect on the Ghost Beach.
My name's Sam Sadler. This is my sister Louisa.
Sadler? That's our last name.
Really?
Yeah. I'm Terry Sadler, and this is my brother, Jerry.
We're staying with Brad and Agatha, our 4th cousins, twice remodeled.
Removed, Jerry.
The people they meet on the beach are like, there's a ghost over there. So they go meet up with the ghost, and the ghost is like, those 2 kids that you talked to are the real ghosts. And they're like, what? And they're like, go check out the cemetery. You'll see their headstones. So they go find the headstones of the kids, and the kids are like, no, you don't understand. Those are just our relatives.
If you're not ghosts, then where did these come from?
Our ancestors. We just got named after them, that's all.
Now we're gonna show you something.
They're dead, we're not. But it turns out, no, the guy in the cave was correct, they are ghosts, and then they turn into skeletons.
Stay with us, cousins!
Join us! We dug such nice graves for you! Stay with us, please!
And then they go home to see their grandparents, and plot twist, the grandparents are also ghosts on the ghost beach. Ghost beach, bitch. It's actually amazing how fucking terrible this one is.
I mean, the bones are picked clean. What kind of animal would do something like this?
I guess if you're going to be around here, you should know. It wasn't an animal that picked those bones clean. It was the ghost. The ghost of Harrison Sadler.
Oh, come on.
Holy shit, the acting in this one is incredible. Like, most of it's ADR'd, and you know, kids, acting is difficult for children. It's hard to connect with a character when you're a child. You just, what the fuck are you gonna, you don't pay taxes, you don't fucking know what's going on. Like, how is a kid supposed to connect with a character, you know? It's difficult. Now add ADR to that. All they can do is ADR. They re-record every single one of their lines.
Do you see that opening in those rocks? The ghost lives up there. Some people say for over 300 years.
Fucking horrible. The worst performances you'll ever see in your life are in this episode.
Now it's empty! Go! More houses! What's more houses?
The Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns. I picked this one because it has pumpkins in it, and I like pumpkins. Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns is... I'm trying to decide if it's great or totally stupid.
You must trick or treat forever!
So Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns is the story of some kids on Halloween that go trick-or-treating, and they find out that their friends are pumpkin people who are aliens, actually, and then they're alien pumpkin people, and then they get on a spaceship.
Oh, by the way, we're pretty full, but I wouldn't eat all that candy. It might fatten you up, and we will be back next year, 2 feet again. Happy Halloween.
You see what I mean about, like, the thing where like, the second half of it is, like, completely different from the first? Not even a bad sci-fi B-movie would have that plot twist. Where did he come up with that? Did he even give a fuck? Pumpkin aliens eat children. It's awesome. You gotta love Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns. Okay, these kids are forced to, like, go door to door, like, asking for candy forever, and the 2 pumpkin people, I refuse to call them jack-o'-lanterns, they're pumpkin people. They jump around and they're like, yes, get the candy! That's right, get in there and knock on that door, kiddo! Candy!
Keep moving! Don't talk!
Shut up!
It's absolutely bug-fuck nuts.
I do! I have the power!
The blob that ate everyone. Okay, so, like, I wish I could tell you this has something in common with, like, the blob, where there's just, like, primordial goo that goes around, you know, getting people, but unfortunately, no. I am struggling to remember this story at all. I think this is the one where the kid is writing the story, and he wants to write a really scary horror story, so he's like, okay, I'm gonna write about a blob, so he, like, types up a thing about a blob in a thunderstorm, and then, like, a thunderstorm starts. So his writing is actually magic. And then, unfortunately, through some circumstances, somebody types on his magic story that the blob eats everyone, so then the blob eats everyone.
Kitty section's over there. Right. I must be in the jerk section. Go later.
Not one of R.L. Stein's finer moments, to be honest with you. They can't all be winners, folks. It's kind of fun, but I mean, if it's fun at all, it's because the main character of this is like, oh my god, the gayest kid. Like, he's like, my story. It's like, me too, but I remember being that child.
Okay, so the blob disappears.
We should drink vermouth and write scary stories, Mary. That's my Lord Byron impression. We should have sex on LSD. Well, we're talking about literature. We're talking about goosebumps.
Whoa! Amy, I can hurt you and your family in 100 ways.
No, I won't let you.
Amy.
Sarah, Sarah, he's
Night of the Living Dummy 2. I almost said Night of the Living Dead. I almost fucking did it. R.L. Stein thought it would be funny if it was like, it started at number 2, like there was no original one or something. Maybe they never adapted it. I have no idea. All I know is like anywhere I could find on the internet was there Night of the Living Dummy 1. It just starts at number 2. Very fucking suspect, R.L. Stein. I'm watching you. I don't trust you, you balding fuck. So this like is just the story that has been told a million times, but for some reason I think this one is like super iconic. So there's like a Twilight Zone story that's exactly this story. Like there's a doll and then the doll is alive and then bad things happen because the doll is alive. But I guess in this one, R.L. Stein was like, what if that was like a lot more schlocky and they were punching it a bunch? So they like beat up on the doll. But no, this is the classic Slappy story. Everybody knows about Slappy. Come on, you don't know about Slappy? Classic dummy. We're talking about a classic dummy here. Unlike that shithead from earlier in the video. Fuck that guy. Bullshit dummy.
Run, but you cannot hide.
I don't know why everybody became so attached to Slappy. I guess he's just so fucking evil or something like that. He's like, I'm gonna get you. Like, that's my Slappy impression. But no, I guess people like really like the fact that he's like an ornery little cuss. Like, I don't really know other than that, like why people really connect with Slappy as a character.
Waiting for this night where I would finally play my ultimate role. And you, Esmeralda, come with me to eternal darkness.
never!
Phantom of the Auditorium. It's Phantom of the Opera. Hey, you know the story Phantom of the Opera? That one, it's that. Phantom of the Paradise, it's that. I don't know, I thought I would like this a lot more because like, yeah, I am a fan of Phantom of the Paradise quite a bit, but no.
But what if he's a... If what? What if Emil's a ghost?
I don't believe in ghosts.
It's Phantom of the Opera. There's like a kid, except it's children. So there's like a kid who wanted to be the Phantom. So the Phantom of the Opera like existed prior to this role. And so he wanted to be the Phantom and then he couldn't be the Phantom because he had to die. And so now he's a ghost. He come back, they do the Phantom, he do it again. He take over and become the Phantom. And then he does the Phantom and then they're like, he's dead. That was the dead Phantom.
We know it never was until now. And there's the boy who was supposed to play the Phantom in 1923. That's the boy who disappeared.
Oh man, I don't believe it.
So every time I see Ryan Gosling on screen in anything, I'm just like, oh hello, it's my boyfriend Ryan Gosling. Say Cheese and Die is fairly unimportant in the Goosebumps canon. There's a camera, kid takes a picture with the camera, there's skeletons and that person dies, there's a homeless man, there's a mad scientist, evil camera. But it's significant because Ryan Gosling is in this episode and he's looking like a snack.
There's nowhere to put the film or nowhere to even open it.
What do you do when you're attracted to a man, but he's a child here? That's like looking through your partner's baby pictures. It's so weird to see heartthrob Ryan Gosling as a child.
Let's see it. Come on, let me see it.
Anyway, here. That's kind of like if someone showed me my heartthrob Ewan McGregor as a child. It would just weird me out. He wouldn't be my boyfriend anymore. He'd be a little boy. Ryan Gosling's pretty good in this one. He plays whiny kid.
I think this thing predicts the future or something.
If you're serious, then I'll make a prediction. Tomorrow, men in white coats are gonna come and take you away.
I swear.
Real human being. A real hero.
Oh, the
No, run! Go to the box! Go!
The Scarecrow walks at midnight. I think it's midnight or moonlight. Midnight. Spooky Scarecrow movie, bitch. Goosebumps, right? So we've all seen Goosebumps. We know what we're talking about. By this point, I think you're pretty well ingrained with like Goosebumps. Scary Scarecrow Goosebumps episode is like an absolute must. Who could have expected that it would be like the fuck this?
Hey! You gotta stop fooling with magic! That shit ain't gonna work no more!
So, two kids go to a farmhouse filled with old people and Ernest.
Are you alright?
I'm gonna get sticks.
Jody, that's not very nice.
He threw a scarecrow at us.
Jody, he wouldn't do anything to hurt you.
The scarecrows at the farm begin walking at midnight. Very scary, I agree. I would be scared if my scarecrow followed me. But whatever, because they're scarecrows. Like, did you know that the most evil of scarecrows can still be killed by like a pair of scissors? Scarecrows are walking at midnight and that's very disconcerting. Now, it could be somebody in a costume, or it could be nope, it's magic. Scarecrow magic. Scarecrow magic is being done. They have a magic book, and an old person is reading Scarecrow magic to awaken the scarecrows, but then at the end, we learn a very valuable lesson that Goosebumps teaches us, which is that magic can be destroyed by blunt force. Magic can always be killed by someone just hitting you with something. If your problem is magic scarecrows, just run them over with a combine. Problem solved. Unless the combine comes alive. Oh, that's the twist in the episode. Spoilers. Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes.
Oh, there's my juvenile delinquent brother.
I'm telling you, Mindy, I didn't do anything.
Yeah, right.
Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes is fire. It's good, it's lit, it slaps. Oh, it slaps.
Wait a minute.
So there's a kid, his parents live next door to a major, like a soldier man, and he's like real Nazi, ironically, about his lawn ornaments.
If anything happens to my garden, I'll be looking for him.
So when the little boy's family goes and picks up some rather rowdy lawn gnomes from a dump, everything goes to shit when the lawn gnomes come alive and begin attacking the major's yard, destroying his lawn ornaments, making the major think the little kid did it. But the thing is... The little kid did not do it, it was the lawn gnomes, and now a military man wants to kill a child. Bad news. Because in the middle of the night, little people wearing lawn gnome costumes will become alive and destroy things. There's a moment where a kid is handed a flashlight and now he can make the lawn gnomes turn back to stone if he shines the flashlight at the lawn gnomes. Other idea, take the flashlight and begin hitting the lawn gnome with it. Just smash the lawn gnome. And then it will die. It won't just go to sleep. It will be dead. Blunt force, it works every time. Magic, get the fuck out of the way. I'll just hit you with something. I would be a great Goosebumps character, because if someone handed me a flashlight to shine on something, they were like, this'll put it to sleep, I'd be like, thanks, and I would begin beating it. And at the end, they think that their family won the best neighborhood prize, but no, there was a bad, ugly thing in their lawn, and they found out that the lawn gnomes turned the major into a lawn gnome as well. And then the family had to be like, that shit ain't mine. Calling all creeps. Ooh, this episode is fire too. So this episode kind of exemplifies the weird budget differential in the show, where like sometimes things look really, really amazing and sometimes things look like shit. Now, given that this is a made-for-TV show and also low budget, it's all practical effects and it was mostly made for VHS. It wasn't really meant to be played on 4K TVs. It was meant to look good there, but some of the episodes don't even look good there. Even by that standard, they look cheap.
Maybe you should reveal the real plan, Commander. Commander Ricky, Sergeant Ives reporting for duty. I'm the second in command. The first plan was a test to see if you creeps were ready. Now we can put the real plan in action.
Calling All Creeps is about a kid who's pissed at a girl, so he breaks into the school's newspaper room to write her phone number and say like, calling all creeps, call this number, but apparently there's some switcheroo accident and he types his own phone number and he begins getting calls from creeps asking when the creeps are going to meet. And then of course this gets escalated by people staring at him and asking him when the creeps are going to meet in person.
Hello?
Hello. I'm a creep. When do we meet?
Paint blood written in a giant wasteful puddle when the creeps are going to meet inside his locker. Very spooky. And then he realizes there's been an alien invasion. The creeps are the aliens and those aliens think that he is the leader.
I can't believe you're friends with this creep. That makes you a creep too. Too bad. You looked like you had potential.
He then has to lead the creeps to make everybody else turn into creeps so that they can all love him. Because he's like a little shit. He's about to save everybody, but then everybody starts picking on him and he's like, well, if I'm gonna be bullied, then fuck it, I'll just be a creep too and everybody can be creeps. So he basically just like gives the human race over to aliens.
Enjoy the cookies.
No! What a creep.
Sorry, Iris. But from now on, things are gonna be different around here.
And the aliens look great, like cheese curds. They look wonderful. And quite a bit of this episode, like, seems unbelievably cheap. Like, so much of the lighting and so much of the design of it is super cheap. A+ for effort. You did Invasion of the Body Snatchers, kind of, but for like $5 on a potato.
What? You heard me. I want all this jungle stuff out of here. No more shrunken heads, no more masks, no tom-toms. I don't even want to see a coconut in here unless it's sliced up in a fruit salad. Is that clear? Is it? Yeah, Mom.
How I Got My Shrunken Head. Swapping over to one of the higher budget episodes of Goosebumps. How I Got My Shrunken Head is a...
Open it?
Debatably fairly racist episode about a kid who has a shrunken head, and the shrunken head is magic, and it helps him fight jungle magic. And he gets sent to the jungle because someone's evil father wants him to be there so that they can get his aunt, who is a secret agent in jungle magic, and so they're gonna fight with the jungle magic. And so then he uses the shrunken head to do the jungle magic, but then he finds out that he didn't even need the shrunken head. He had the jungle magic inside him the whole time, and all he had to do was extend his arms to the heavens. starts shouting incantations, and there you are. He's got the jungle magic. And that's how he got his shrunken head, god damn it.
Wait till you meet my daughter Karen. She's 13. She's gonna be just thrilled that our new neighbors have kids.
And how could I finish this video off without including Welcome to Dead House, like the very first one, where it all began, the first Goosebumps book and everything. And I will admit that I think that R.L. Stein genuinely had some interesting ideas for his first book. And I also think it was fairly challenging for kids. It kind of sets the course for where this series was gonna go in the future. It didn't predict a lot of the like real stupid stuff, but some of the stupid stuff.
You don't feel a thing.
I need to
So Welcome to Dead House is a story about a family that moves to Dead House in this like spooky place where this factory exploded, killing everybody. So all their neighbors are zombies, and then at the end a girl destroys a painting, and then the zombies decide they can drink their blood, so they break into her house to drink the blood. But I mean, it's like an hour long, so there's like a whole bunch of suspense, like, are they zombies? What kind of zombies are there? Why are everyone zombies? Do they want to be my friend, or are they trying to advance me sexually?
We need you.
Run! You know, I don't know if you know this, but like when somebody's trying to drink your blood, suspiciously close to when someone is trying to have sex with you.
Please don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
Easy to get those two things confused, so I understand a lot of the weird sexual tension in this episode. But yeah, they do almost escape their death by zombie, but they pull over on the side of the road and they find their dog, and their dog turns into a zombie and kills them.
What's wrong with him?
For children. It's kind of amazing that like at the end, like the entire city, like the entire town is slowly walking towards them at the same time. Imagine like it follows a whole village.
Don't fight us, Amanda. Let us feed. Then we can be best friends.
It's pretty good. Pretty good shit, actually. Big thumbs up for Welcome to Dead House. Creeps rule.
Ain't no phones in Horrorland.
Goosebumps is a legendary show, a great show, a wonderful show, a gift that keeps on giving, and the books are just as good. Call them schlocky pieces of shit. Call them uncared for fucking crap. Call them a bunch of baloney. But don't call them uncreative, because they're really fucking weird. And weird is kind of up my alley. I've been into it since I was a child. I've never changed. So naturally, eventually, I was gonna talk about some Goosebumps episodes, but now I'm very aware that I may have missed your favorite Goosebumps episode, and if I did, leave it in the comments. Maybe I'll watch more Goosebumps. I watched a lot of Goosebumps this week. Holy shit. Wow, thank you for watching my video about Goosebumps. I don't know why I've done this. My cat is so pissed. If you want to subscribe, consider subscribing on YouTube and give this video a like. This was supposed to be like a wholesome moment. You fucked it up. My wholesome moment. You made me say fucking the children episode. These people here are $5 patrons. Hey, $5 patrons. You get to have a little dance. Isn't it fun? This is the $5 patron dance. Everybody at home do the $5 patron dance. You too could dance by going to the internet.com/NickSpheres Patreon website and sign up for my programming. It helps me stay alive in these hard times, and that way I can keep dancing and nothing bad ever happens to me. So now I have enough to read out the patrons that have donated the most money while dancing. One moment while the page loads up. Hyacinth Macaw. I don't know if that's the way to say your name. Johnny F. Gallagher III. Yeah! Hey Joshua Stampelkoski. Thank you for bringing this dance video to the masses. Laura Baston or Baston? I don't know really. This is becoming very bad. Hi Paisha. Hello. Mateus Gramman, I think. Help me, Mateus. Cole Davies. Hi Cole. Can you help me? Shinigans, I think is... I really don't know. Paul Barnett. I just want to stop dancing. Joey Harper, can you help me? Stop dancing. Shelby. Parker Rundstrom. Why are there so many of you? Kaza Nico. God, there's so many. And that's the end. Wow, we did it. We made it all the way to the end. And nothing bad happened. See you next time. Good night.